Hello guys, welcome to the Ice Bucket YouTube channel. Please subscribe to it for more such videos. So, I would like to start a topic. Today I want to discuss on how to write an essay in Ielts and especially how to write advantages and disadvantages essay. So let's start with the topic. So I would like to give you some examples and I would like to give some advice on how to write the essay in task 2 of IELTS exam. So let's start. If the task instruction have two parts and you fail to write about one of them, you cannot get more than band 5 for the content. And you cannot score more than band 5 if some of your main ideas are not relevant to the task, even if they are about the topic. Your examiner will award the marks for clear presentation of number of relevant main ideas. You can collect ideas on topic by brainstorming. So these are the things which you have to think before writing in IELTS for task 2. And moving on, analyze this task, for example, then decide how many parts it has. Like I would like to read for you. There are more cars on the road these days and more accidents. As a result, some politicians have suggested that people should take a regular driving test throughout their lives rather than a single test. What do you think are the advantages and disadvantages of repeat driving test? Do you outweigh the disadvantages? Giving reason, give reasons for your answers and include any relevant example for your own knowledge and experience. So, before you start the writing task 2, you should have the list of advantages and disadvantages in your mind. So, these kind of list you should have. Listing the advantages and disadvantages of a task is an other way of brainstorming ideas before you write. Advantages and disadvantages, as I have written here advantages of this topic, like useful in case of older driver, good for people who do not drive regularly, keep driver up to date with road rules, and something more. So you need to group your ideas into main supporting ideas. This is very important. Main ideas act like a theme that link your supporting ideas. And supporting ideas provide evidence either justify or prove your main idea. In other words, there are reasons for or example of your main ideas. Like these three are the supporting ideas. Useful in case of older driver, may prevent young men driving too fast, good for people who do not drive regularly. The main idea is this: certain group of people would benefit. So before you write the main ideas, you should have supporting ideas and examples in your mind. So you should start with main ideas and providing supporting ideas or examples with your main ideas. Okay, here is something for you. Now you have to decide on the main idea that links the three remaining ideas of advantages list. So you have these three ideas and you have to link this to the main ideas. So this is your work. I would like to give you opportunity to write in the comment what will be the main ideas of these supporting ideas. And you should compare your main or supporting ideas with model answer if you are practicing at your home. So Before moving to planning your essay, I would like to give you some formulas on how to write disadvantages and advantages essay. Okay, the template for advantages and disadvantages. I have written a formula for you. So the first thing is write an introduction to the topic as and think of two advantages to the solution and provide clear examples. Think of two disadvantages and write about these with good support. Write a short conclusion giving your overall opinion. Okay, overall opinion or conclusion. So, moving on, I would like to discuss on how to plan your essay. Before this, I would like to give you some tips as written on your screens. Your position is important to the content of your answer. If the examiner cannot find a clear position in your answer, you will lose marks. Remember, there is no correct answer. So there will be a different ways that you can answer the question. Your examiner will expect to be able to identify your main ideas easily. Paragraphs help do this. Your essay is incomplete without a conclusion because does not reach a logical ending. So, as I have shown you the formula, as if you write of two advantages and two disadvantages without providing conclusion, then you will lose marks. It is very important to conclude your essay and start your essay with a astonishing and amazing introduction. And moving on, your examiner will want to know what your point or position is on the topic. You can decide your position at the end of your essay after you have given all arguments. Like you have argued your advantages, disadvantages, presented your advantages and disadvantages, and you provide your position or you give your position here on the conclusion. Or when you can also provide your or give your position and at the introduction. When writing your essay, it is important not to copy from the question paper. Your examiner will ignore this section of copied material. This is important and will not include this word in the total count. Okay, so moving on, how you would organize ideas because you will when you write the introduction of the topic, then you have to write your ideas in these two sections. Okay, so do not start the second paragraph until you know which main ideas you are going to use in each paragraph and develop your position. So, like in the template of advantages and disadvantages of essay, you have this plan: introduction, advantage with example, second advantage with example, first disadvantages with example, second disadvantage with example, then your conclusion and your opinion. So, how would you approach the task? Select 2 to 4 main ideas to form the paragraph. Like I have this for you. Paragraph 2 and 3, two examples, two disadvantages, and two disadvantages and two examples. So, and think of some supporting point for main ideas. Like I have said that advantage with example. Examples will be the supporting ideas for the advantages. Decide which other the idea should go in. Consider whether you can add an example from your own experience or knowledge of the topic. So, So how would you draw your conclusion for any essay? So your conclusion should summarize your position for the reader and if appropriate to the task instruction, present your final decision on a question. You can be impartial, that is, take no side, or state that you have no conclusion to draw. You should use phrases like these to sum up overall, clearly, in conclusion, to conclude. My favorite is taking everything into in consideration. So let's move to the template for an essay. So here is it for you. Like I have explained you the plan or to write any disadvantage or advantage essay. So the template for this is nowadays you can write any general sentence about the topic. Like I will discuss both template and model essay for you. So let me open model essay. Okay. So like here is the topic for you. Model essay from the template advantages and disadvantages. You should spend only 40 minutes on this task. And this task, the topic is these days more and more people are going to other countries for the significant period of time, either to find a job or to study. There are clearly many benefits to doing this. But people who live abroad can also face some difficulties. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of living and working in a foreign country. Give reason for your answers and include any relevant example for your knowledge or experience. You have to write 250 words for writing task 2 in Ielts exam. So, like, here is the template. Nowadays, write a general sentence about this topic. Like here is this. Nowadays, taking a here out to live or study abroad is becoming increasingly. For many people, especially young adults, the chance to spend an extended period of overtime overseas is an attractive one. However, there are both pros and cons to deciding in this. In this essay, I will discuss some of the reasons why moving abroad is so popular and some of the challenges to be overcome. Okay, like here for many people, write an extra sentence to support the first sentence. Like it, this sentence is supporting the first sentence, increasingly popular, and use words like attractive one. So, and however, there are both pros and cons. Deciding in this essay, I will discuss. These are the same thing in the template and the model essay. So, now this is the introduction. This is the introduction of the essay. So now moving to the as per our plan. So now we have completed this. Okay. So now we will write advantage with example, and in the third paragraph we will write another disadvantages with example. Okay, now with the template, let's begin by looking at the advantages. Whatever the topic is, write the sentence, one of the main positive. Now you have to write the advantages of the topic. The first advantage here, write your first advantage here, and then explain with example or your own experience or knowledge here. What I mean by this is that, and for instance, give an example related to disadvantage. This can make you conclude the disadvantage. Okay, now discuss the model answer here. Let's begin by looking at the advantages of moving away. One of the main positive of heading toward overseas is that it broadens your horizons. What I mean by this is that you have the chance to meet people from different cultural backgrounds and learn to cope with foreign customs and food. this can make you more rounded it as a person. Now we will discuss another advantage with example. We have discussed this in the second paragraph. Now we will discuss in third paragraph another advantage, the second advantage with an example. So, like secondly, you will start your second advantage in the third paragraph like this. Secondly, write second paragraph disadvantage here and take uh, whatever the example of the topic in an example, and in addition conclude your advantage. Okay, so now here it is. Secondly, here is the model answer. Secondly, moving abroad can lead to a better quality of life. Take British people for exam. Now this is an example. Here example is starting. Thousands of people from the UK move to Spain and Australia every year. These countries have warmer climates and encourage a better work-life balance. In addition, by living overseas, you can gain qualification and language skill which may improve promotion prospect on your return. Now, this is the conclusion. This is examples, and this is starting of second advantage in the third paragraph. Now, as per our plan, now it's our turn to write disadvantage with example in paragraph 4. Now, let's discuss how to write disadvantage in paragraph 4 for advantage and disadvantages of essay. You will start this turning to the other side of the argument. Now, write the first disadvantage of the topic in the sentence. To be more precise, write some sentence about the first disadvantage. Means here you will explain more or in detail with your supporting idea of your main idea here of disadvantage. Now you will use discuss your example here. Let's use write your example about disadvantage here and then conclude your disadvantage. This often lead to whatever it is. Okay, now on in your model answer, let's see what it is. So, turning to the other side of the argument, as per it is template, cultural shock is major problem. Many people who to take a year out find it hard to cope with language barriers, the food and general cultural difference. This often leads to a homesickness and in some cases of sense of isolation. Now this is your conclusion for disadvantage and this is your example and this is your introduction for the disadvantage in the paragraph number 4. Now moving on as per plan, now you have to write disadvantage with an example in paragraph 5. This will be the second disadvantage. Okay, so as per template, now we have to write it like this. Another issue is that now you are discussing second disadvantages. So you will start like this. Another issue is that now you will write second disadvantage here and you will explain it in other words like this and you will discuss it like this. This process take time and can especially challenging if and write your conclusion of second disadvantage here. Now let's move to the model. Now, so here it is. Another issue is that it can be difficult to start a new life from scratch. In other words, when you move abroad, you have to make new friends and find your place in the community. This process takes time and can be especially challenging if there is also a language barrier to deal with. So, Now, as per the template plan, we have completed 5 paragraphs. We have done introduction, two advantages with examples, dis, two disadvantages with examples. Like here in the model answer, we have write the introduction. The first, this is the first, you can say advantage with example. This is the second advantage with the example, and this is two disadvantages with examples with different and different paragraphs. Okay, now we have to conclude our topic and you have to give your opinion. So as per template, you can there could be two conclusions, a conclusion for advantage and a conclusion for disadvantage. So I have written both templates here for advantage and disadvantage. Whatever you conclude you, your topic, you can use these templates for your easiness. So all things considered here, uh, for the conclusion of disadvantage, you will start this. All things considered, write a general sentence summary for the topic. You need to weigh up the pros of writing second advantage and third paragraph and cons and personally then you will conclude like this. Personally, I believe the benefit in term of like writing the same advantage using your words, like you what are the basis of your opinion, you will these will be the basis of your opinion. Okay, and this will be your conclusion and what you do you think and what is your opinion. So personally I believe benefit and you will write like this eventually outweigh any negative. Conclusion for disadvantages will be like this. In conclusion, I think something should be done as soon as possible to protect, you are writing an essay for pollution. You can write should be done as soon as possible to protect trees. Like whatever the topic theme is, then you have to write. If the situation is left to continue, at it is many new problems for the societies or individual. Whatever the topic theme will arise in the future. Okay, now let's move. What is the conclusion for our model answer, model essay? So, all things considered, starting life in a foreign country is never easy. You need to weigh up the pros of the better lifestyle, weather, and so on, and the cons of cultural shock and language barrier. Personally, this is the opinion. Personally, I believe the benefit in terms of personal growth eventually outweigh any negative. Okay, this is the end of our session. Now you have some topics to write on. These are your topics. These documents will be uploaded on my website. You can check it there if you want to download. Thank you for watching the videos and please do not forget to subscribe our channel. That is the end of session.